Welcome back to the Lazy Girl's Kitchen. My name is Maggie, and on today's episode I'm going to share with you how I like to make my cutout sugar cookies. These are my go-to, like, really quick, easy recipe, especially like if I'm entertaining and there's kids around. They really seem to love sugar cookies, and this weekend I'm actually going to a party, so I thought, why not make these amazing sugar cookies that the kids are just going to eat up and they'll be gone in no time. So without further ado, let me take you through the list of ingredients. The list really could not be any easier or any shorter to make such a good cookie on such little items. So you're going to need some baking powder, some granulated sugar, some salt, some butter at room temperature, and make sure it's unsalted too. You do not want salted butter in these cookies. You want some eggs, vanilla extract, and then finally some flour. So the first thing we want to do is, using our handheld electric mixer, you're going to want to mix your butter until it's nice and like smooth. That way when we add everything else in, it's going to be a lot easier. So I'm going to beat my butter and then I'll meet you back here so we can add the rest. So into my butter, I'm going to add in my sugar. And I'm going to whisk this until it's nice and fluffy, and then we'll get started on the next step. So my butter and sugar is nice and fluffy, it's light. So I'm going to add in pretty much everything except for the flour, because that we're going to leave last. So my vanilla extract, the milk, the baking powder, and now the salt. Now I'm going to whisk this for a few minutes until it's nice and incorporated, making sure to scrape the sides of the bowls once or twice, and then I'll meet you back here before I add the flour. Everything is nicely incorporated, so I'm going to go ahead and add in half of my flour now, beat it for a little bit, and then add in the other half. I'm only going to use the mixer until it gets really tough. I don't want to use it too much because then I don't want a tough cookie. And then I'm just going to finish it off with my spatula. Okay, so here is my dough. Do not panic. I know it looks like it's not sticking, but you're going to have to finish the rest of it off with your hands. So with your clean hands, you're just going to go into your bowl and start mixing it together until it's nicely combined, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So my dough has come together beautifully. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take some plastic wrap, and we have to chill the dough for at least 30 minutes before we can bake the cookies. That's where like its shape is going to come from, so that when you cut them out, they're going to stay. So what you do is, this dough just works beautifully once you chill it. Otherwise, your cookies are not going to roll out nicely. They're just going to fall apart, and we do not want that. So what I do to take everything out of here is I kind of make like a disc with my hand. And then I just wrap it in my saran wrap. And I chill this for 30 minutes, and then I'll meet you back here so we can start on our cookies. Okay, so I took my dough out of the fridge about 5 minutes ago to let it come to room temperature a bit. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to preheat your oven to 375, and you're going to prep your cookie pan. You know that I love aluminum foil, therefore I'm using that. Okay, I'm going to just place it over here. So you're going to want a nice clean work surface. I just cleaned this off. And then you're going to use whatever shape you're going to cut out. I'm going to use circles, but I don't have like a circle cutter. I have everything but. So I'm going to use the top of like a mason jar. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of flour, and you're just going to sprinkle it on your work surface. I know I complain about my lack of space, but it really does drive me crazy. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of this, and I'm just going to work it with my hands for like a minute or so, just to kind of get it to come together. And don't worry if it seems like it's cracking. That's what a sugar cookie really does. It just seems that way. But once you start rolling it out and working with it, you see, it's going to be great. So you don't want it too thick, but you also don't want it too thin. So I would say about 1/4 of an inch or so. Oh, it's sticking to my countertop already. Ooh, put some more flour. There we go. I just ruined this one, but that's okay, we'll fix it. Take some of my rolling pin. There we go. Oops. Okay, this for me is like the perfect consistency, so I'm gonna take my cutter, put it in some flour, and just cut out circles. So I'll show you how thick. Ooh, I can't get it off. There we go. This is the thickness that I'm looking for. I don't know if you could see, so about 1/4 of an inch or so. So I'm gonna continue to do these, and then I'm gonna put them on my pan. I'm gonna bake them for 5 to 8 minutes. Probably more towards the 8-minute mark, I would say, but keep an eye on them, and then I'll meet you back here to show you what they look like. Okay, so my cookies, one batch was in the oven for 8 minutes and the other batch was in there for 7 minutes. I took them out and I put 2 cookies aside. So I'm going to show you how we're going to make our frosting, and then I'm going to frost these and eat them with you. So this is my wonky cookie, the one that I have like the leftover dough and I can't roll it out anymore. I just make like one wonky cookie, so that's the one I'm going to eat, so I don't humiliate myself. So for our frosting, all you're going to need is some egg whites and then some powdered sugar. That's it. So what you're going to do is you're going to beat your egg whites until they're nice and frothy, and then you're going to go ahead and add in your powdered sugar. Alright, so my frosting is all set. It's nice and combined, and look at, you kind of want it to be like this consistency. I can't really explain it. It's almost like melted marshmallow, I would say. So what I do is I just take some and I just spread it on to the best of my abilities. And this is gonna dry, so don't you worry. Take my other cookie, do the same thing. I'm gonna take some. Woo! I'm so clumsy. That's okay. All right. So I'm gonna take some sprinkles. Just gonna sprinkle them on. All right. Let me give this a try. Hello. I'm so hot because I'm by the stove. I'm melting. There you are. All right. So I'm gonna give these a try. So good. And with the sprinkles and the frosting, not overly sweet though, because remember we cut down on the sugar a little bit. I don't do too much sugar in the cookie because we make up for it in our frosting, so yay for us. But honestly, delicious. Really delicious. You have to head over to www.thelazygirlskitchen.com to get this amazing recipe and so many others. And make sure you guys subscribe and give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.